This call is from
Joe.
This call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. To accept this call, press 5. To block this call and all future calls, you may begin speaking now.
Joe.
What's up?
Life Unscripted with Kevin Shook.
Welcome back to Life Unscripted with Kevin Shook. And man, if this is not unscripted, I don't know what is. I'm really excited about this one. So from attempted suicide to the zoo that made him a household name, and now this guy is fighting for clemency at the White House. Joe Exotic's story is one of the wildest in America, and today we get to hear it in his own words. Joe Exotic, welcome.
Hey, I appreciate you having me, man.
This is something. So, I ask you how it's going, but like you said, it's prison.
It's prison.
So
we're getting close, though. At least we got their attention now.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and that just came about. That just came out yesterday.
I believe my people announced it yesterday. I got a letter 2 days ago.
Okay.
Saying that the White House has got my case under investigation and gave me a clemency number. Yes.
Oh man, that is phenomenal. And I will ask. We have some questions down a little deeper, and we'll get to that because that's really cool, and that's a story that we need to get out there so the people know. So you have spoken about your suicide attempt, and that kind of hits home with me. I've been down that same path. And
a lot of people have.
Yeah, and a lot of people are afraid to talk about it. So I feel like by talking about it, it kind of helps others tremendously. But you've kind of made it like you've mentioned the exotic animals kind of saved you from that and saved you after that. Is there a specific moment that you can kind of walk us through, and like what did those animals mean to you in that dark time?
Well, okay. Now, keep in mind when I was a police chief, I don't know what the Netflix didn't really portray it right, but when I was a police chief, I was struggling with being gay. Okay, and my parents didn't know at the time, and I got a call one night to go to my mom and dad's house, and I was on duty in my patrol car, and I go to my mom and dad's, and I go to knock on the door. My dad opens the door and he's screaming bloody murder. I mean, the spit's like hitting you in the face.
Wow.
And I'm like, and my mom is standing behind him crying, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Well, my brother outed me to my parents that I was gay, and my dad was that disgusted. And he made me shake his hand in front of my mom and promised never to come to his funeral. And, when you're struggling with something,
This call is from a federal prison.
anything will tip you over that tipping point. So on my way back to town, after I left that house, hell, it made me feel so bad I drove my car into a bridge, on purpose. And that's what ended my police career because I broke my back. But, I went to West Palm Beach, Florida, and that's where I did my physical therapy and everything. And, I paid to go see a psychiatrist, and you know what I learned at a psychiatrist for $12,000 here? I'll give your whole audience a $12,000 psychiatric treatment real quick. You know what I learned for $12,000?
What'd you learn?
Just say fuck you if you don't like me.
Hey, that's some shit.
It is some shit. Okay, so while I was doing rehab in Florida, my neighbor was working at Lion Country Safari and brought home all the baby monkeys and the lions and stuff at night to bottle feed, and that's where I got really my love for exotics. But that's why I built this zoo and had so many misfits there. Over the years, I probably had 300-400 people come through there, working that were drug addicts on the doorstep to go into jail, in rehab. And a lot of them made it clean and cleaned up and moved on, and some of them didn't. But the good thing about the animals is they didn't judge you. You know, as long as you were good to them, they respected you.
Yeah.
And I think that's what helped a lot of these people, you know, move on to better things. Was they had, you know, 1,400 animal souls there that actually gave a shit about them. You know.
Right. Right.
And that was the cool thing about it. But you know, the only bad thing about Netflix and Tiger King is they turned it into a bad thing because, you know, they were outcasts. Their parents kicked them out, you know, and nobody wanted them. And then Netflix just made it all that much worse, made them look like horrible people again.
Yeah, that's crazy because you know, no matter, despite what Netflix did and how they painted the picture, we could still tell that like what you made was something larger than you, and it was something larger than the people that worked there, and you know, you could see that in it. So, but they just made it this absolute train wreck. That's what Netflix did.
They did, you know, and that's the sad part about that whole zoo today is, you know, everybody forgets that was a memorial park. Okay, animals got to live in honor of people passed away. There was 151 memorials there. Okay. And there was 3 people's ashes actually buried under their memorials. You know, and so today it sits as a ghost town. The weeds are taller than the cages. You know, Rinky told me that I guess half of my house is burned down. And it's disgusting because nothing about any of this was for tigers, okay? That became the world's most famous zoo on the planet. You know, and if this was about tigers or conservation or animals in general, all they would have had to do was stop breeding. And they could have done more for saving tigers than anywhere in the world. Because 123 countries knows about that zoo. But instead, they spray painted foul language on the buildings. You know, they broke the windows on all the buildings, and they tore it up. And Carol sold it for $140,000 with a 100-year contract. It can never be another zoo.
Oh wow!
You know, so what did it accomplish for tigers? Nothing.
No, nothing at all.
It shut Joe down and put him in prison.
They're in a worse spot.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's horrible. So with these animals, so without the animals, you probably wouldn't be here today, right?
No, really, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I can relate, man. I've been down, you know, somewhat similar path, but nothing at that.
You know, especially after Travis died, yeah. I gave up. Travis, my husband, you know, that shot himself at the zoo.
Yeah.
You know, that was in Netflix. At that point, I could have cared less if I lived or died again.
Right. How you feeling today?
I am hopeful because, you know, I've got... Well, somehow I'm going to get out of here. If I have to serve my whole sentence, I only got 4.5 more years. But I truly believe Trump is going to make this right. There's just too many people out there screaming for this to be made right. Not to mention all of the government witnesses got on world television on season 2 of Tiger King and admitted to perjury.
Right, absolutely. That season 2 kind of helped.
I don't even belong here. But what drives me now is, you know, I haven't really seen how big my platform really is out there.
Right.
But the letters, the inmates that come in here that saw the show and were out when the show was out, everybody knows me. I mean, it's just crazy. Everybody knows me. So I'm looking forward to getting out of here and using my platform for justice and prison reform. Mm-hmm. And to fix little kids' faces because Operation Smile is my favorite charity.
Oh,
and helping people that are struggling. I want to do nothing but help people. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, you have the platform too. You have the attention. Yeah. So your brother's tragic death in the vehicle accident, that shaped your whole journey, right?
It did. It did. Because, we started that zoo, and I moved to Oklahoma to take care of my parents because he took care of my parents. And we started that whole zoo in memory of him because he wanted to go to Africa. And Gerald was the type of person that he would give his shirt off his back to a stranger. And we did some charity work when we had the pet store. We flew a lady to Boston and had brain surgery and flew her back. And we did some other things, too. So that's why me and my mom and dad decided to do that zoo, to help people. We opened it for free every holiday. We did Tigers for Tots. We did toy drives. We fed the homeless. It was remarkable. And they destroyed it for a movie.
Right. Do you feel like
Kevin, this thing's gonna hang up? So I'm gonna it just beeped and said it's gonna hang up in 15, 20 seconds. So
all right.
But, hey, I'll be glad to call you back on another day.
Love it, man. Shoot me an email and we'll get that coordinated, man. But I can't. Okay. I appreciate this, so we'll definitely stay tuned for the next one.
But yeah, tell everybody get on joeexoticofficial.com and look at the evidence and.
Joe, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming up here. So you just heard what I heard from Joe Exotic. His story is not over. He's fighting clemency with the White House. He does have the most wildest story of all in America, and that was really exciting to get a phone call from him and be able to do this podcast with Joe. Joe, I appreciate your time. I appreciate everything you're doing, man. And, man, I just can't wait to see what happens, bro. So until next time, Life Unscripted, Kevin Shook. Follow it on the platforms. Also go over to Joe Exotic, hop on his site, give him a follow, give him some love, and catch y'all next time.
Life Unscripted with Kevin Shook.